and this was from Gretchen K. My DOD contact told me this morning that Trump has signed the Republic yesterday whilst in DC. So this is somebody that has contacts with the Department of Defense.
That's right.
And these are important contacts. All of our historical asset submissions have come to a hard stop. So that tells me something's happening. When they come to a hard stop, there's a reason.
Yes, sir.
The contracts for German bonds and golden assets are being released to sellers. I know that firsthand to be an accurate statement. The German bonds start the rumble of the historical assets being redeemed. I know that statement to be true. Also confirmed, this is massive, the Elder have signed the gold contract. Now all 200 plus countries are gold backed. That is massive news. All 200 countries are now gold backed. So when you hear the news and go, Brandon's just written a check for $100 trillion. Great. Toilet paper is actually worth a lot more. It's not worth 1% because he's got no gold-backed currency. Nothing. And this we've had through, I'll tell you right now, it's 13:30 here, and we got this at 10:47. So this is red hot news today within the last 3 hours. And this has come straight through. It came straight through to me. That's why I wanted to get Juan O'Savin and Chaz Carter and Mahoney on this, because when you hear that every country, because I mentioned like 2 weeks ago, last week, 4 billion people, BRICS, had already would go back. We knew about Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, all gone gold back. That's more than half the world's population. We knew that Saudi Arabia wanted to jump on board in a hurry. We knew that the whole of Africa wanted to jump on board in a hurry. We knew that what people don't realize is that ends the monopoly that the Federal Reserve has had for hundreds of years, because the gold-backed currency does not come from the Federal Reserve. So nobody wants what the Federal Reserve has. So when nobody wants it, the dollar does not have a value. The US dollar does not have a value at all, but the US note does. So you heard it here first. Over 200 countries are already gold backed.
Admitting all. Good day, everyone. Blessings to all.
And welcome to the GESARA show, a very special show today.
A very special show today. We have a lot of things happening, things moving, and things in place. We have opened it up to everyone who wants to jump in order to get this information out, not just for subscribers today. Very exciting stuff that Charlie and Mahoney and Chaz and Dallas all just did on the Insiders Club. So we are letting people in right now. So we're just waiting for everybody to show up. Thank you. If you've noticed, I've been on an emotional roller coaster today. Started off with very good vibes and feelings, waking up this morning to a nice rumbling thunderstorm, and then we got into my sister was taken to the hospital with low blood pressure and abdominal pains and whatnot. Found she was bleeding internally, and she's been double vaxxed and boosted and whatnot. So now we're just hoping and praying that she comes out okay. And then the exciting news from Charlie. So we've got lots of stuff to get to, but for those of you who have posted, thank you for your prayers. Thank you for, for being there and sending the positive energies out. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Charlie. And I think we all have a prayer for you that your sister will get through this and survive. And we're all hoping for that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, today, I prepared the news and then watching the Insider Club. Basically, when Trump was in Washington, D.C. at that meeting, he signed.
This was the America First conference that he attended on yesterday afternoon. That was broadcast on RSBN and Newsmax. If you'd like to see the recording of it, I believe you can go to Newsmax's website or RSBN, and they should have the recording of it. Okay.
Okay. Someone just said, I keep calling Billy Charlie. No, I don't. I'm talking about Charlie.
Right.
I'm not talking about Billy now. I'm talking about Charlie from the Insider Club. Okay. So I'm not mixing them up. I know the difference. No, I was talking about Charlie was saying on the Insider Club just now, because remember, this show follows directly after the Insider Club. He was announcing that Donald Trump had signed a document which enables all currencies, as I understand it, over 200 different countries to switch over to the gold-backed currency system. That does not include the fiat dollar. That does include the U.S. Treasury note. That's right. So your fiat dollars are now worthless. But don't worry, they will be exchangeable into the US note. And it's just really hot news. Only Charlie found out about that today. We were talking about Trump and everything else that was going on in his conference yesterday. And he dropped some truth bombs yesterday. I don't know how many people actually saw it. But there was a lot of things said in that speech yesterday, including things about projects that need to be taken care of, that me and a couple of other people that I know, Tammy Sue and whatnot, we're talking about dealing with the homeless crisis and people who are, drug addicted, homeless, out on the streets and whatnot, and setting up these encampments. And he said somebody needs to be doing something about this. That is one of my major projects, is to do, to help the homeless, get them rehabilitated, re-educated and whatnot, and get them out of the cities. Actually create an encampment where they can go and get healed, where they can go and get psychological help, where they can go and get get healed. That's right. I saw the broadcast too. He was talking about these encampments being not in the center of town, but on the outskirts of town where land is cheaper. Exactly. And where the people can be properly looked after. And I thought it was a good idea. And he wanted to set that up around all the cities. Right. Good idea. Anything to help the homeless. But I think the revaluation, particularly when we all start getting our taxes back, which we've paid over our lifetime. Which will happen over time. Which will happen too. If we get access to the money, and this has been talked about already in our C'est la Vie, I'm sorry I pronounced that right, but when we're born, a trust fund is created with the registration of our birth certificates. Now, we are not aware of this, and it's not for our benefit, but a certain amount, I think it's $1 million, is paid in to this trust fund, and then money is earned on that by other people, which we do not know about unless we're told. Most people it's bought and sold. It's bought and sold for years from different things, and they basically trade you as you progress through your life. That's right. So a lot of us are worth millions. And there is a way of finding out. There's a website called GMEI. Is it GMEIutility.com? I think that's where you can actually look up what you're worth. Type in your social security number and find out what you're worth. It's quite interesting. Now, the proposal was that we were to get this money
minus the initial investment. That means if $1 million was put into our account when we were born, that $1 million we don't get. But everything which has been earned on the account since then, we would get access to. Now, that would make most of us very rich indeed. Possibly only people who know about it. Well, guess what? We know about it. And we're going to make sure that you all know about it. We're going to do special programs telling you how to organize it. We're going to make sure as much as is in our power it is to make sure that you guys learn how to gain access to this if it's not made access to you automatically. We don't know exactly. We're moving now into a new phase because when all currencies of the world, and it sounds like that's exactly what has now happened, and it's literally today's news. I mean, it's not like, and you don't expect your bankers to have told you. They wouldn't have known before today if they even know it yet.
And they won't disclose it.
And they won't disclose it. So this is very hot news. So we had been kind of expecting it because all the reports were saying was before the end of July. And I was beginning to think, well, we're getting very close to the end of the July. Is it really going to happen? Well, it just seems to be happening right now.
Right.
And we're on the 27th. We've still got a few days left in July.
Right. So we're looking for a few events. Now, an interesting thing that I had a discussion with my friend Doc Q, Dr. Q's Boombox on Telegram. We were talking about what is a particular word, and that is called eventually. Now, whenever we think of eventually, we think in terms of timelines. Okay, eventually it is going to happen at some point in the future. But think about that word eventually. It is based on events. It is not based on timelines. Okay, events can happen sequentially, and they can happen in the past, they can happen in the future, they can happen in the present. All right. So everything that we've been talking about is event driven. Okay. So whenever we're talking about eventually, okay, events have to happen in order for things to progress forward. We're seeing those events happen in real time right now. Okay. So as the events happen, don't think of it as a linear thing. All right. We are on a multi-dimensional time shift right now, and events are happening in multi-dimensions. All right. And it's all based on what needs to happen so that we can move forward. Okay. So look for the events to happen. We've been talking about events, all right, such as the stock market crash. We're expecting some big numbers to come out today. The Fed is supposed to announce the interest rate hike. The GDP comes out tomorrow here in the United States, which is going to be way worse than what we thought. This will start a cavalcade event. Then we're talking about other things, such as supposedly the Queen's death, all right, and the Biden administration actually imploding. We've all seen this start to happen. You can't deny it anymore. These people are stupid, okay, or whoever's playing these people are stupid. The people who are sitting out there saying, oh yeah, President Biden, Vice President Harris and Pelosi are all great. Chuck Schumer's great and whatnot. Are you looking and watching and listening to what these people are actually saying? Okay. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We have a sieve of a border, and they're saying that the border is closed. Okay. We have child trafficking going on. We have drug trafficking going on coming through our southern border here in the United States. And they say the border is closed, it's totally secure and whatnot. We're supposedly right now, and economists believe that we are in a recession. They're trying to redefine what a recession is, okay, and change the definition of it. Now, and also they're trying to change what man and woman are by definition, by going through pronouns. Kamala Harris yesterday, all right, had a whole bunch of things to say about gender pronouns, all right, and whatnot. And she's supposed to be the border czar. didn't address the border at all, has not addressed the border in months. Okay, this is idiotic. All right, with all the crime happening, with, you know, and you've seen the television reports of people getting run over in New York, and then, you know, the person gets out, doesn't help them, but robs them after they've hit them with a car. Okay, you've seen people attack police officers. You've seen, you know, all different kinds of crazy things with these criminals, and then they get let out without any bail, no prison time, no anything. All right, this is all just to help wake people up to what is really happening, and frankly, it's all coming to a head. It really is.
Yeah, but if someone has just happened to be near the Capitol building on January the 6th, they're still locked up.
They're still locked up with no chance for bail, no chance for trial or anything else. They can't defend themselves. They can't get a hold of their own lawyers or whatnot to plead their case and whatnot. This is totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. But then you have, you know, all the protesters and whatnot that were so-called peaceful riots back in 2020. Those were peaceful riots. Yeah, they burned down buildings. They killed people, you know, people getting hurt. It was totally ridiculous.
It was totally one-sided and totally ridiculous sense of law. It was very much party political, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all to the advantage of the Democrats. And then they tell us that over 50% of the Americans voted for this goon called Joe.
Right, exactly. It didn't happen. I mean, there was a massive thing that happened in 2020 with the election, but we had to play this out. We had to show just how corrupt our government was. So there you go. This is just to wake up the normies. And we're coming to a cavalcade of events, like Charlie said, an avalanche, or actually Chaz said it, an avalanche of information is going to be coming out over the next few days.
That's right. And we're going to be watching very closely what is happening and reporting as soon as we can to you guys. We're going to keep you informed either through by the Telegram group, the Signal group. Anything which is urgent is going out on the Signal group. In fact, I just send out messages on the Signal group inviting everybody who joined the Signal group to join this meeting as well. So we might have higher numbers than usual because we thought that this is such big news which is happening today. We don't want to keep it from people. We want people to be here and learn it firsthand.
Yeah, so we're welcoming everybody in. Peter, I know we've got intel to get to and whatnot, but most of it is kind of moot at this point. I mean, you want to go through some pointers real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to go through the things which are not changed by this new news.
Right.
And then we will say, because I mean, I still have quite a few pages of news. I'm going to see if I can keep it down to
let's do the Reader's Digest condensed version.
The Reader's Digest. Yeah. Does the Reader's Digest still exist?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, but
as a child, I used to read the Reader's Digest. I always used to read it. It was this little booklet, and
it give you the cliff notes and whatnot.
I think it was was it once a month or once a week? I can't remember.
Let's get it into it and keep it short, 15-20 minutes. All right, so.
Well, I don't know if I can get it in 15-20 minutes, but we'll try. We'll try and leave out the jokes and just. But you see, we always have commentary, so that tends to make it. But I will try and keep it short. So, 1 second.
All right.
I had prepared something for today. There you go.
He has his hat. He has his hat. This is news time. This is in
GESARA news.
The GESARA news. There you go. He just put his hat on.
Yeah. You keep asking about a hat, so I made one up.
All right,
I put the GESARA news on.
So it's news time.
That's news time. I thought I just had to do something here.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sit very well because I've got the headphones as well. But never mind. If it falls off, it falls off.
Cool.
Okay.